So we're going to show you today how to put the SR-6400L by Schröder together. It's pretty simple. Number one, these are the parts that you have with the unit. You have two different types of nozzles to use. So today I'm going to go with part G, just a regular cone nozzle. You can also swap it out and go with the optional hose here, part H, which is basically more used for asphalt or concrete. So we'll set that one over to the side. So basically, we're going to start off putting the corrugated tube onto the unit here. But before we do that, there is a grounding wire that's used if you're in very dry, high altitude climates. Basically, if you just want to have a static buildup, it actually protects the magnetos. It's actually a really good thing to do for any unit to install this. If you don't feel like doing it, you don't have to. You can just leave it where it is. That's how we install it in the factory. So we got zip tied here. If you're at high altitude and the air is very dry, you can feel some static buildup on the handles themselves. Then you know you need to change and install the grounding wire. I'm going to walk you through how to install it. It's completely up to you if you want to use it or not. So we're just going to cut off. There's a little zap strap. So we're just going to give that a little cut here. Okay, so that breaks out. So that's the one cut. And then there's one more zip tie right there. We're just going to cut that little zip tie here. And okay, so we're done with that. So what you're going to have is you're going to have this grounding wire. And that grounding wire is, question, where does it go? Well, that grounding wire is actually going to go and feed inside of the actual tube itself. So you're going to leave it a little bit of slack here, but that's going to go in here, and then it'll actually go inside the tube here. So it'll run all the way down, and it'll be free by itself. So that little piece we're going to show you here. So what you're going to do is you're going to basically feed that right through the fat side of the corrugated tube. And we'll just drop that right in. So just drop it like that, all the way through. And then you can use a flat screwdriver or a drill. I'm just going to use a quick drill just to make things easy. What I'm doing is I'm just loosening up the pipe clamp, and I'm just going to go right here, and I'm just going to feed that on. Nice back and forth action. So it's going to be tight, so we're going to go right to the edge. And you basically want to butt that right up to this ridge. And then we're going to see that you got enough slack for the grounding wire to turn. So we're completely fine there. This is now inside of the unit. So we're just going to quickly tighten up the back of that pipe clamp. So that pipe clamp is now tight. That's not going to come out. You can now see where, if I get the camera just come in here, you're going to see where that wire goes in. It feeds right into the corrugated tube. And that'll come out the other end here. I'm just going to spin that around so you can see in the camera. That'll just come right out of there. So basically, we're going to then take the, there's a little fly nut there. We're going to back that out. Now you're kind of going to have a lot of play there. This tube is part E. So part E, you basically have a ridge on it. It's the only tube that has a ridge. And that's where you're going to be basically able to put the throttle. You're going to slide it up if you want it there, if you want it back there. You can adjust where you want the actual throttle to be positioned on the tube. So we're going to basically there's two ribs on the bottom here. So you just have to go right past those two, slide them over. I'm going to actually loosen it up a little bit more. So basically pretty much until it's completely, I don't want to take it right off, but you're going to loosen it right to there. And then you're going to just turn it. So now you can see that ridge is right there. This is a little ridge that's received right there. Then you can position it where you want to position it. I'm just going to position it in the middle. And then once I go out to the field, I'm just going to tighten that guy on right now. And once I'm on the field, then I can find out where I really want to position it to put it in the right place. So now basically what you're going to do is you're going to take that grounding wire, feed it through the back. So now we're going to notice that these have ridges on them. Those ridges are going to receive the flexible corrugated tube. So basically you're going to feed, and you'll see on this end it's only got two dibs on it, and those are smooth. So basically just go right through. So now feed that guy all the way through, and that's the grounding wire. And you'll feel it come right through this side here, and it's just going to hang out there. So then what we're going to do, we're going to loosen up the pipe clamp that's there. You can either use it with a flat screwdriver or a drill bit. Just loosen that right up. And then we're going to just slide this guy right back together. And then just for quick ease, I'm just going to drill it, use a drill bit nice and tight so you're nice and good to go. You're going to see coming out of the end here, I'm going to turn this over to you, to the camera. You can see that that grounding wire comes right out of the end. So now you're looking basically like this. So your whole complete unit will look like that. And then basically we have two options now. So if you want a really short hose, you can basically just put the nozzle right on. But generally we suggest everyone likes a little bit extra length. So tube F is going to be basically, it's going to give you a little bit more distance there. Just notice that before you do anything, there is a little screw right there. That little screw you want to push up. So if you can see that, that little piece is going to rise up and it'll be out a little bit. So basically what we're going to do here, we're going to get that grounding wire right through. So now they go inside of each other. We're going to slide that tube. You're going to feel those two ridges connect. And then we're going to turn it clockwise. And you're going to feel it go click. So now you're going to see that that little screw is sitting right there. You can just tighten it in by hand. And then you can just take a flat screwdriver and just tighten it up. You do need to get a bit of a click feeling. You know, if you're don't have much dexterity and strength, you might want to have two people, one guy hold it, the other guy turns it in place. You're turning it clockwise when you connect it. And then now we're going to go to, this is where you got the option. At the end here you can pick either part G, which will be the cone, or you can go with your optional part H. All the units come with these. It's just your choice what you want to do. I prefer going with the cone. And what we're going to do is we're going to do, the grounding wire comes right out of that. It's just sitting right inside there. And that'll just basically sit by itself. If you can imagine if it's snowing, and if you ever get snow tapping on these things are great to use for as a snow blower in the wintertime for dry powder. But what you're going to have is you're going to have a lot of tapping of snow on the tubes. That grounding wire just protects the unit from any static buildup. Same thing here, that little screw, we're going to just push up. So you want it to rise up like that, because you don't want it to be poking in there and you won't be able to get to it. So basically, same thing here. We're going to just push that on. So we're in there. Now you have to turn it just like a clock does. So I'm going to show you this part right here. This is going to just turn like a clock. It's going to, now it's right to the bottom. So it's sitting basically at the 6 o'clock position underneath the unit. We're just going to tighten that on. Right there. Tighten that up with the screw. And now all your tubes are all ready to go. So you're ready to go there. I'm going to also show you just how to do that tube H, because someone will ask down the road and say, hey, how come you never showed me how to do tube H? Let's just show you how to do that. So we're going to take this guy off, and that's the cone shape. You just twist it back, and it'll just slide right out. Set that to the side, and we're going to go with the tube H. Same thing. With your thumb, push that little screw up. And then basically, we're going to do this. So you're going to slide that right in. Go right through there. And then you're going to actually, sorry, I want to click that back the other direction. It's got to go to the 6 o'clock position. So basically, you're going to turn it clockwise. So now, it's going to click into position. It's going to get click. And then basically, that's how the tube is going to look. We're going to want to go down there again and just tighten in that little screw. That retains the tube, and you're good to go.